there is a multiplication symbol there. They won't write it though. This is the invisible multiplication symbol. Remember that. So, let's begin. I've copied the question. I've written the equal sign on the line below. I'm going to do BEDMAS. Brackets. I do have brackets. Inside the brackets, I'll do BEDMAS again. But there's only one thing to choose. So, I know I'm going to be doing 4 minus 2. Copy down everything I'm not using. Notice I'm being lazy. I'm leaving out that multiplication symbol. 4 minus 2 is 2. Next line. Brackets. There's a bracket, but there's nothing to do inside it. Exponents and roots, none. Division, multiplication, yes, there is multiplication right there. That, 6 times 2. Next example. Fraction. What do I do with a fraction? This is also division. Fractions are nowhere in BEDMAS, but that's a division symbol. So, let's begin. Equal sign on the line below. Copy the question. Brackets, none. Exponents and roots, none. Division and multiplication, yes, I have a division symbol. Copy down everything I'm not using. 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. Question's not finished. BEDMAS, brackets, exponents and roots, division and multiplication, addition and subtraction. Next question. Uh-oh. I know this is division, but what do I divide? Do I divide each of these by each of these? Like, how do I do that? Here's the way I think of it. I like to think of the lazy mathematician having left out a set of invisible brackets that belong above and below. In fact, I could take this question and rewrite it in this format. Oopsie. That's not supposed to be there. This question and that question are exactly the same. And that's the way I like to think of it, that there are invisible brackets above and below this fraction bar or division symbol. So if I were to do this question, step by step, and this one's going to take a while. BEDMAS, brackets. I have 2 sets of brackets, so I have to go from left to right. This one is actually on the left, and that one's on the right. Inside the brackets, I do BEDMAS again. Are there brackets inside the brackets? Because that can happen if you have higher level brackets. No, there are none. Are there exponents or roots? No. Are there division, multiplication? Yes, there is multiplication. Copy down everything I'm not using. Oops. Write down the answer of 5 times 2 is 10. Once again, I begin again. BEDMAS, are there brackets? Yes, I have 2 sets. Which one do? I do the one on the left. This one will end up on the left, remember? It would have been on the left. Inside there, I do BEDMAS again. Brackets, nothing. Exponents and roots, nothing. Division and multiplication, nothing. Addition and subtraction. Again, copy down everything I'm not using. Oops. Make sure I do this right this time without messing it up. Go back to the original just to make sure I didn't mess it up. Good. And then my answer, 4 plus 10 is 14. Again, brackets. I've got 2 sets. The one on the top, ooh, there's nothing. So I can go to the second set of brackets. Inside those brackets, I do BEDMAS. Are there more brackets? No. Exponents or roots? No. Division or multiplication? Yes, I have some multiplication. Copy down everything I'm not using. One times 3 is 3. And I continue. Onto another sheet of paper. BEDMAS, brackets. Nothing in that bracket, but this bracket has something. Copy down the stuff I'm not using. Now I have 14 divided by 5. Which will give me 2.8. Oh, and I should have circled that last division. So here we have the entire question. And yes, that is a lot of work. One thing to be aware of, do not rely on your calculator being able to do this. Some calculators are indeed programmed to follow BEDMAS, assuming you can enter it correctly. My calculator does have a button that will allow me to put brackets in. Yes, and that's great. But you know what? While calculators are useful tools, you have to be able to do it without the calculator. And that's another reason that I insist that all of this be written out step by step by step. Sure, some of you will be able to figure out how to do it with your calculator. I'm not even going to teach that. If you can figure it out, that's wonderful. It's not going to help you because I'm going to ask you to show all your work like this. And just to give you an idea of how I would mark this on a test, here at the bottom we have the correct answer. Hooray! Excellent! You've got the correct answer. That's 1 point. Each of these individual steps, here, 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 and here, are worth 1 point apiece. This entire question would actually be out of 6. This is a 6-point question. So if all you did is wrote down the correct answer, because maybe you used your calculator for it, you would end up with a 1 out of 6. It would actually fail. There is yet another reason that I would like students to write out all their work. It is very easy to make one single mistake somewhere here and end up with the wrong answer. If, at the end of the day, you lose all your marks because of one tiny little mistake and you did all this work, this way, if you make one little mistake, I can account for it and I will give you credit for the work you do correctly. At this level, I think that's worth doing. Of course, I think that at higher levels, I happen to think that's a bad idea. And that is how I want to see BEDMAS questions completed in my classroom.